好棒啊！观众好，我是温明娜，好高兴看你们。
Okay, give me something to say.
Say.
Well, I mean. Well, I need.
You just said
you were talking?
no. you trusted me.
It's the worst thing I've ever did. Okay, I don't know if I just offered people a lot of cash from my Venmo account or what.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, let's ask some questions before.
So we just learned that season 7, next season, will be the last season. So where would you like to see your characters end up?
Well, the emotional double whammy of this particular Comic-Con is that we're shooting that final episode. So we know not where our characters end up necessarily, but we know where the show ends and where they are with the show ends. And
I mean, the only great thing about knowing that it's our season, not our season finale, but our series finale. Oh, that is hard to say. Is then it gives the writers, our writers, a chance to really wrap up the stories the way they want to, you know, and with our characters. A lot of times when it's just the season finale and we don't know we're coming back for another, it's kind of like these haphazard cliffhangers and endings, and so in a way there's an absolute completion that is very rewarding as opposed to not knowing if it was our last season.
But I also think there's a real challenge to finales. As sometimes we see, they're very hard to pull off. They're very hard to stick the landing of the series finale. Because there are not really a lot of moments where, okay, my life's all set now. That's it. That's the conclusion of it. Unless they're burying you. And unless they kill off all the characters in the last episode, which I'm not going to spoil if that's what they do, you're really seeing a direction people are headed in, and you don't know really where it will go from there, but you give an idea. Some are resolved, some less resolved.
But that's life, right? Yeah. You know, everybody,
You're hard to kill off, then.
I'm hard to kill off. I must not be too hard to kill off because they certainly try to do it all the time.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah?
I think you could go in the Guinness Book of World Records for the one character and how many times that character has died.
I mean, there's a guy on South Park.
But yeah, that's true. That's true.
With all 7 seasons, and you know, from in front of the camera, behind the camera, which is one of your favorite moments over these last 7 seasons? Because you guys are a really tight knit crew. You guys have had a lot of moments. I know you got really emotional at the panel yesterday.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
What do you think is the biggest thing that you would say that sticks with you after these last 7 seasons?
When I saw yesterday at the panel, they showed 3-minute clips from every season. The sheer volume of story that our writers have done, and the way that they've kind of gone off into different corners of the Marvel Universe. And to be honest, a lot of the Marvel Universe, they're using it for the movies, or they're protecting it in case they do. So they really have to carefully mine what isn't being used, and then. And a lot of stories I knew from various comics I read, but they've taken a lot of cool parts of it and made them their own. So to see all that, and I mean with every character almost, but especially I look and I see the long history of going up to Melinda May when she's working in an office in terrible PTSD from the moment that made her the Cavalry, and then oh my God, the amount of
so many
character blocking that they did between us to keep us from.
And it's great because it keeps it fresh for us, you know. I mean, to answer your question though, I think for me it's the laughter. You know, every day being in the trenches with some of the most amazing actors, crew, people behind the scene, our vis effects, people, the makeup, and it's just the laughing, the sheer joy and fun that a lot of times we have. It makes those 15-hour days tolerable. Yeah.
So how was it working with Mark Kolpak this year, my buddy, coming from behind
He's
the special
your buddy.
effects too? I've been on set and got to hang out on the Quinjet for a couple of hours.
I mean, there's a lot of people without whom this show would never have taken off. I'm sitting next to one of them. The other one is Mark Kolpak.
Serious.
This guy, the game of visual effects, when we started, could not really sustain, or could just barely sustain, the kind of visual effects that people are used to from anything from the Marvel Cinematic to Game of Thrones, to anything they're seeing. The whole world of what's expected and what's available on people's giant, beautiful TVs really changed. And Mark's relentless desire to tell the story at the cutting edge level of what's possible. When you see the difference between what was done in season 1, the number of effects, the character stuff, I look at the Quinjet and the reality of that world. If one of those shots doesn't work, it checks you out of the preposterous sci-fi world we're creating, and just he's leveled up all the time, and I think that's why we ended up with 7 seasons. And the stuff you're going to see in the end of season 6, when you start to find out the world of Izel and Sarge, and going into season 7 is not like anything you will have seen on TV before.
He makes the impossible possible.
You got one more?
That was the last one.
That was the last one. You got to go one more.
Wait, you get to ask.
One more.
Yeah, I didn't have it. Well, this is the longest live TV series for Marvel.
Yes.
You know, usually a long TV series in Taiwan, the script is ready the day prior to your shooting, so it's very challenging to the actor. And I'm very curious that if that's the same case here.
Very similar, yeah. We usually get our script like a day or 2 days.
But it's for the whole episode. We don't get that thing, thank goodness.
That they get the dialogue
we'll
on
get
the
some,
day?
yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Wouldn't have a chance.
That's an Aaron Sorkin thing.
Can I picture it to you?